Hi Samira, welcome. Thanks for joining us in Scouted by Graby. And I'd like to start right away because I've been reading about OncoRevive for a while now. And what I really like about and found interesting is how you have taken liquid biopsy and combined it with nanotechnology and made it more accessible to for people which are looking for tests done and basically in this space. So, but again, this is super high tech even for me, and I'd like to hear it in your views. Like, can you take me through what OncoRevive is doing in basically in a layman language for me?
Sure. Hi, Shabazz, and very nice to meet you today. I think it's better to introduce myself before we jump to the Encore Revive and what Encore Revive is doing. So this is Samira. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Encore Revive. I did my PhD back in Singapore, in National University of Singapore in biotechnology, and I've been in cancer research for more than 12 years and with more than 20 publications in the field. Encore Revive has been founded since last November. It's a liquid biopsy technology, as you mentioned, to detect cancer at its earliest stages. It is based on a very simple blood test with multi-omics approach that we can detect the cancer at its earliest stages. Not only detecting cancer, it can used during the treatment to check the treatment efficacy and checks for cancer recurrence, offering a comprehensive solution to cancer care.
Okay, all of this sounds very exciting. I'd like to understand how is OncoRevive able to do combine liquid biopsy with nanotech. So basically, how is nanotechnology helping the improve liquid biopsy?
Okay, if I want to give it a simple words, when the biomarkers are released from cancer cells to the bloodstream, with our technology, with a simple blood test, we can check this circulating tumor cells in the bloodstream. The current methodology are also mostly based on the DNA that are released in the CT cells. So what OncoRevive does is not only detecting the DNAs, we are not monitoring just the circulating tumor DNA. We are checking the protein, glycan, DNA, offering a comprehensive solution rather than just checking the DNA. That's why it's a multi-omics approach detecting different cancer in different stages.
Okay, that sounds all very exciting. So you mentioned that it can detect 30 different type of cancers only and across genomics and proteomics. So how does it affect the accuracy?
Yeah, it's not a 30 different cancer, it's 30 different biomarkers in individual cancer. So our beachhead product is breast cancer, which is top in women, top cancer, leading the cancer in the women. So if you detect cancer, for example, breast cancer early, in the earlier stages, we can the cure rate will be 99%. That's why we have focused on breast cancer at the moment. So we are detecting 30 different biomarkers released from breast cancer to the bloodstream. So no, it's of course with other with regards with the false negative, false positive, all different detection methods have their own accuracy. With our technology base, because we are checking different biomarkers, the accuracy will be more in compared to the other technologies.
Okay. And what kind of technical challenges did you face, when building a solution like this, which is like again more accurate than traditional way of doing these liquid biopsy tests?
The most important technical challenge that we have at the moment is aligning our technology with FDA and TGA process. Because it's not easy to get approval after all when you have the technology ready to launch. So that's why we have started onboarding some commercialization people who have done lots of TGA and FDA before to help us in this process.
Okay. So what kind of regulations and FDA challenges do you see coming? Any example you can share?
Yes, for example, the technology that we are using itself, the machine that we are using itself is not FDA approved. So this is one of the challenges that we are facing at the moment to get approval for our technology along with the equipment that we are using.
So you've been to a lot of events and you have showcased OncoRevive to a lot of different audiences and communities. For example, you were in Impact Night Sydney as well, and before that there was also you've also partnered with a few more companies. So I just wanted to know how has community responded to OncoRevive solution, and basically how are, for example, your customers, which I imagine are clinics and testing facilities, how are they responded to this solution?
I think I can't find anybody who haven't been touched by cancer. So either yourself, I mean the person itself by himself or herself, or a friend, a family member. That's why the community always is very eager to understand more about cancer and find a solution to help the relatives, the friends, and all those things. That's why the community response always is very positive, because everybody wants to make a real change in the cancer life, because cancer has been there for a while, for a long time now, and there is no cure for it rather than just detect it early. That is why we are getting lots of positive feedbacks always regarding the technology. For the clinics, we are in the partnership and we are starting, onboarding lots of clinics at the moment. So I can't reveal them yet because we haven't signed our partnership yet. But yeah, we are getting the patient sample here. Even we have some partnership with US. In Australia, we have some partnership. Yeah, that's what we are doing now at the moment.
Okay, and again, good luck expanding OncoRevive. It's of course what you said. I totally relate with it. That people are more open to find a way to get out of this, basically to figure out the solution to cancer. And I totally agree. At the moment there's no cure, only as early detection as possible. So again, good luck with expanding OncoRevive to more geographies and to more areas, and your FDA approval as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So Samira, what I wanted to ask next was about what are basically the next steps, or maybe what is the most nearest achievement or milestone that OncoRevive is looking for?
So we have started the patient sample test in the R&D phase at the moment. So we need to submit our pre-FDA approval, which is our first milestone, which is happening very soon. And after that, onboarding more clinics and starting doing some parallel testing in other pathology labs and clinics will be our second milestone.
Okay. And of course, I think this is related to more on the expansion side of things. So how easy it is for a clinic or maybe for a lab to to implement OncoRevive solution in their process, or maybe how difficult it is if it's not easy.
So if I want to give an example, the most related, the most advanced technology that is used at the moment in the pathology labs is in next generation sequencing, which has a very high capital cost of over $1 million to just purchase the equipment itself. So OncoRevive, it doesn't have much of capital cost to the pathology labs. So most of the pathology labs, clinics at the moment, they are sending the samples out to out resources to do analyzing the data, to do the liquid biopsy outsources. But with OncoRevive, we can reduce the capital cost in a way that pathology lab can do it by itself, and there is not much of knowledge to run the test, because it's as simple as like a straightforward technology that you can just read the sample as easy as even a technician can do it. So that is another advantage of OncoRevive, and not only for pathology labs and clinics. We have made it very affordable for the patients. So it's even more than 40% more affordable in compared to the cheapest, most affordable existing technology at the moment. So that is why we think adopting the technology is not a very difficult way for both pathology labs and patients.
40% is a huge number, specifically in this context.
Of course.
Yeah, and I think cost has always been a challenge in cancer research and diagnostics. So I believe this in itself is a huge incentive for clinics and other labs to adopt your solution. So Samira, again, this is related to business side of things as well, but you have extensive experience in cancer research, and you have like huge academia experience as well. So basically, what prompted you to start become an entrepreneur and start OncoRevive? Yeah, basically this is just want to hear your personal opinion about it.
Of course, it's very challenging for me because I always been in science, have lots of publications in Nature, different prestigious journals, but never been in business before. So that's why I'm getting advantages of lots of business people who have been in this part as our advisor adding to OncoRevive. So it's very challenging, but the reason is that I want to make a solution rather than doing some research at this stage. I've been doing research since I started my bachelor, 18 years old, and then doing master, doing PhD, and all like a job experience that I have for research. And I thought of I have a lot in research, and I think it's a good time to start bringing these findings to the practice, something that you can get out something out of what you have done so far. That is what I thought. Okay, it's the time for doing the OncoRevive.
Okay, and since this is very new and it was a technology that wasn't being used earlier, and you had basically come up of the solution from scratch. So did you ever feel like maybe this is not going to work, or maybe this is too difficult to turn it into a company? Any kind of those giving up thoughts, and how have you dealt with those?
I can't say it never been used before, because the technology is based on my background in cancer, and it's kind of another particle that I have already used. I mean, a different kind of another particle, but the same basic that I have used and my co-founder has used, my other co-founder, the OncoRevive other co-founder has used. So it's not much challenging in the terms of it's not going to work. We knew that it's going to work because it had some results, and we have published based on what we have done so far. But yes, always there is a kind of anticipation that it might not work. It might not get in the stage that people want to use it. How if the data are going to be different from what you have done so far? All these things are happening, and it's there. But you can't avoid it. Otherwise, you can't get success if you don't get some failure or if you don't have any challenge in your life.
Yes, yes, and I think that's the attitude of successful entrepreneurs as well. Because I've talked to a lot of CEOs, founders, and I've seen this common in them that they face the challenge. A lot of challenges comes up, specifically people who are being first-time entrepreneurs, and this not giving up attitude is what keeps them going and believing in their solution. And I can see that in you as well, Samira. So again, this is a great message to our readers. So just final few questions. I wanted to also understand how easy it is for OncoRevive to scale your solution. So basically, what's the potential here? Which kind of market basically you're targeting?
Okay, at this stage, we are targeting APAC. For our first, milestone is our covering the APAC. We've been in contact with people in Indonesia, Singapore, and we are already based in Australia, Melbourne. But in our near future, as one of our advisors is from US, our market will reach. We hope we reach to US and even Europe. The scalability of our technology is not as difficult because the amount of material that we need per each test is not more than 1 ml. So you can imagine if you want to make 300 tests, you need just 300 ml of the material. So that's what the scalability of the technology is not as difficult in a way that we have the knowledge behind it as well. So that is what we think we can make it in a scale, and we don't have any challenge for scalability, much of challenge in scalability.
Okay, and it sounds like that everything is sorted there. So do you also see OncoRevive venturing later into monitoring cancer treatment efficacy, or maybe monitoring recurrence in future?
Of course, that is one of other advantages of OncoRevive, because it's not as expensive as other technologies. It's much more affordable. That's why patient can use it regularly during the treatment efficacy, to check the treatment efficacy, to change the medication to for the doctor, make it easier for the doctor to take that decision. And after even not only for after checking the treatment for cancer cancer recurrence, it can be used for the relatives of the patients. For example, a person has a brother who is always scared of having a cancer, so they can regularly check their blood test for the biomarkers to see if it has been changed or not.
Yeah, and since it is much cheaper than other technologies, so it makes more sense to get everyone tested as well. It makes it
And
easier for
more
patients.
available. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's more affordable, so it can be more available.
Okay. So, and of course, since currently we are not at a stage, not at the FDA approved stage, and we are like starting at the very early stage, how are you ensuring the technology stays affordable or stays this much accessible later? So, is there anything that you guys, your team is taking care of?
We have been in contact with many professions in the field, and we have done a lot of analysis based on the price, the different markets, and and being advised with lots of people in business. So that's what we came up with this price that's not going to be very expensive, and it's quite affordable. That is what we think it's the price that we have estimated at the moment.
Okay, okay. This again, everything I've learned today. This is super helpful for me as well, and I didn't know this much about liquid biopsy and cancer treatment. So thank you for taking me through it. So Samira, I think with that was my last question, because what I wanted to really understand was where we are in the stage of getting OncoRevive popular and making it more accessible on a wider scale, and what kind of technical challenges you and your team has faced. And with that, basically, I'm nearing the end of my interview.
Thank you so much. Just as my last sentence to whoever is listening to this video or watching this video, I hope everybody is caring about their life. And it's the best thing to avoid, in avoid getting in that many of challenges that the cancer patients are, is detecting it early. So apart from OncoRevive, whoever is thinking of having cancer or thinking of I'm being in the atmosphere that the cancer can be highly close to the person, I think the best thing is always getting in consultant with a doctor and check your health uh, before it gets too late.
Yeah, early detection is the only cure we can go
Yeah,
after.
of course.
Yeah.
For colorectal and breast cancer, if you detect it early, 99% is the 5 years of survival for the patient. And so it's always better to understand it early rather than just ignoring it.
Thank you, Samira, for that message, and I will make sure this gets seen by as many people as possible. And thank you for joining me today on Scouted by Gravy. I really appreciate you
Thank you
coming
so
here,
much.
taking us through the story, and talking about OncoRevive.
Thank you so much, Shabazz. Have a good day. Bye.